So let me tell you now the agenda of the session and class 22 and started. Okay, so right now we are learning one very interesting and a different concept in Salesforce programming, that is test classes. By this time you understand how to write test class or why to write test class. Also you understood that what is the process by which you can actually write the test class. Then how can you see the code coverage? Then we understood how to see the code coverage and the other things also we saw. Let us go to the next level and now try to understand how we can perform this kind of activity in detail. So we are going to proceed for next level, and let me do the needful, and here we go. So let me just show you some important information, and just give 1 second. So now see, by this time you should know all these things. What is code and how to write the test class, how percentage calculated. Okay, I'm assuming everyone is aware about this. Now let me go for the next level. Please note here, this test method, what we have seen in the previous session, we can also use that as @ test method before the function. So you have seen the keyword test method. There is one more mechanism or one more style of writing this test method, and it is on your screen. I am telling you this because in your office, maybe your senior will be writing by this way, and or maybe your senior is writing exactly the same way which we have done or seen yesterday. It depends. I just want to tell you that these are the possible ways to do this. Okay, it can be done by any way. So please note this point as well. So this way you can write, okay, test method @ test method. But again, depends on company or how they follow the pattern of writing the programming. It depends on that. And now pay attention. So till this point we understood at the end of testing. Please note here we need to understand assert function. So we understood that we need to use assert function at the end of the testing. If we see things are going as per the business requirements, if all goes fine, then test class is called as errorless. But if this is not complete work, you have to also focus on the remaining thing, because this is just a 50% work. Just getting the error done, resolved, or having the test class without any error. Is this your target? Is this your target? Just writing a test class and without any error? No, your target is also the percentage code coverage. That 75% is also on your target. So that's the 50% remaining work. So remaining half, or let's say I will mention here instead of percentage, because here it will be better. This is just half work, and remaining half work is to ensure your score will be more than or equal to 75%. So moral, test class needs to give two things. One, expected solution calculation, and second, 75% lines also should be covered. So we should have these all the things. Now let's see the next point. How to see work or improve score, or let us see how scoring works. That's now going to be our next point, how the scoring works. Now this you cannot understand if you go with the regular pattern, the setup. You'll not understand there. For example, if you go for this setup, let me just type here. So if you just type here, and if you click on the setup, then or in fact in the setup, if you write this Apex, then in this Apex classes, if you go for this option, please note you will, okay, let me just show you. I think screen is stuck. Yeah, see now I'm talking about this. So if you go for this Apex class, and here you want to actually see the percentage code coverage, then you cannot get it. Not possible. Then how you can see? I will tell you. Pay attention. If you want to see how this code coverage is getting calculated, please do one thing. Please go to developer console. Okay. So let's go for that. I'm going to click on this. and I'm going to click on developer console because you can see that only there itself. So let me launch it. Okay, so I will now open the trigger of pen. First of all, it's loading. Okay, trigger pen. Only one trigger is there. Okay, that's okay. Double click. Okay, next copy this trigger class. Let's open the class. So I'm going to click on class and I'm going to search here the class name, which is nothing but the pen discount class or pen class demonstration. And here we go. Okay, next thing I'm going to open is the test class. So copy this name and again click on this file, open, and what we'll do is we'll just try to search here the class name by typing the class name, and then we are going to type at the end test because we have only written this. So what is the name of the test class we are having? I think we did not save it. I think we did not save it, so that's why there is no test class. Fine, let me create that. Okay, I think we did not save it, or maybe what, by different name. File, new, and apex class, and paste the name and write test at the end, and okay. So see now how you should be able to see the code coverage percentage. Now what I'm going to do, whatever test class we have written, I'm just going to copy that and I'm going to paste it here. So I'm going to just remove this, or maybe remove this and paste it here. And this I can remove, or this I can remove, cut and make this name and file. Okay, so here we are done. This is our test class. Save it. And saved. Everything fine. Okay, so now here you can see how that code coverage actually works. See now, click on the button run test, which is also here because this is a test class. So click on the button run test. Just give 1 minute, it's loading. It is loading. And fine, loaded. And go to the bottom. So for looking at the test class solution, please note you have to click on test. Okay, let me have a quick recap. In the initial session of development syllabus, we have seen for logs, we have to click here. Also, we saw if any errors are coming, then you have to see in the problem. Right now, there is nothing, so nothing is coming. Plus also, test you are going to use for testing purpose. And remaining query data also you are going to see in future. View state also you are going to see in future. Checkpoint also you are going to see in bonus. Progress is okay, that's not so famous. So step by step, you will see everything. But let me click on test and look at the test. So is that test successful? Yes, successful. Look at the green color checkbox. It means it's successful. Okay. Now let us understand what is the meaning of that success or code coverage. Go to the main class. Go to the main class. And go for this and click on all test. Click on all test. Look at this. Listen very carefully. When you go for this button and click on all test, those lines will be made in the blue color, or you can say kind of a violet color, which are covered or executed because of the test class you have run. means when you press on the run button, because of that, test class got called. Test class internally did insert of pen record. The pen record called trigger. The trigger called apex. That all we know very well. Now, how many lines of apex were executed? That will be shown in the blue color. And now, if suppose a question may come in your mind, so Shekhar, suppose if it is not executed, not covered, then what will be the color? In this case, color will be red. Okay. But Shekhar, right now there is no red color. Yeah, because there is nothing which is not covered. But what about line number 1, 2, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13? Yeah, this is not the code. This is not the code. So we don't need to cover that. Line number 1 is a class name. We don't need to cover. Line number 2, 5, 9 is a gap, empty lines, nothing to cover. Line number 4 is a comment, nothing to cover. Line number 10, 11, 12, 13 is a closing bracket, nothing to cover. Okay, only those essential things are covered. Salesforce is smart enough to focus on essential things. Okay, this we understood that how actually we can see the blue color. Now I'm going to take you to the next level. And what we'll do now here, please note, out of this all lines, out of this total number of lines, can you tell me the total number of lines where the program or logic is present? Total number of lines where a program or logic is present. Class name is not a program. It's not a logic. Okay, and including function name. Including function name. 4. Very good. Correct. 4 lines are there, including function name. Correct. 4 lines are there. And now, please note here, if I go to this class name in the setup, you can see now it will show 4 out of 4. Let me show you here. Let me show you. Look at this. Look at this. So it's showing you 4 out of 4. Total lines 4 out of line. All 4 lines are covered, tested. So 100% is the code coverage. Suppose total lines are 10. Out of that, the covered lines are only 5. Then how much will be the code coverage? How much will be the percentage? You know the basic mathematics. It's your school level mathematics. Yes, 50%. So please note 50% will be the code coverage. Yes, very good. This is how code coverage is to be calculated. Well done. Okay, let me go for the next level. Please note here. Please note here. Now the code coverage percentage necessary as per the Salesforce rule is this. Apex class, you should have minimum 75% of code coverage. Trigger, minimum 1% of code coverage is necessary. And that is why we never worry about code coverage of trigger in the real-time project, because 1% is a very, very low number. Automatically it's covered. We can cover very easily. We can cover trigger lines very easily by doing XYZ on the object. Tell me, what is that? If you do this XYZ, that's it. Easily trigger lines are covered. 5, 10, 20. Easily percentage is available. Yes. Insert update. Very good. So even if you do insert or update, automatically the trigger will be called, and automatically 2 or 5, 6 lines or 1% coverage is automatically done. That's the reason in the real-time project, you will never hear your manager, your colleague is worried or in pressure because of some code coverage on trigger. We don't even discuss about that because we know it's going to be easily covered. So nothing to discuss for that. We definitely discuss for Apex class. Apex class is sometimes very complicated and 75% minimum. So that's the reason maximum efforts in real-time project on getting coverage on class. We never worry about coverage on trigger. Note this point. I have a question. Can you think above paragraph, or can you link above paragraph with trigger best practice topic? If yes, how? Now let me see your common sense. Let me see your clarity on the concepts. How can I connect above paragraph or which this paragraph on your screen with trigger best practice? Tell me. Any connection? The screen you have on the, so the lines you're having on the screen, line number 294, 2304. Please tell me what is the connection of this discussion with trigger best practice topic we have seen before 1 2 days. Very good. Fantastic. So now I'm getting good answers. You are right. No logic should be written in trigger. Very good. Now why? 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 Tell me now. Why we follow the rules strictly? Why your manager will shout on you or your senior will shout on you if he see you're writing the logic in trigger? Why? Now tell me. Now you have the idea. Now you know the reason. Tell me why. Only 5 seconds you have. Yes. Actually, if you're writing the logic in trigger, then you don't need to worry about testing that logic. Just 1% is sufficient. So suppose you are writing everything in trigger. Assume that you are doing a bad practice and you are writing entire logic in trigger. Okay, 1000 lines you are written in trigger. Now, how much percentage we need for trigger? Just 1%. So in this case, you can just go for that 1% code coverage and avoid doing the testing of all the remaining lines. And this way, you are taking a risk and making a big problem for the project. That's the reason here. If anyone will see in your office that you are writing logic in trigger, he will definitely raise a concern about your performance with manager. Good, correct answer. So now let me show you the red color situation. Now I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to show you one red color scenario. So pay attention. What is that red color scenario? See, I will do one thing. I will remove this code. I will just remove this and none. And what I will do is I will just this for loop I will remove. Okay, I will remove this for loop and I will write this kind of for loop. Okay, and this one is removed. Okay, see now I'm going to show you a demonstration of red color. How red color will come. Okay, see now. Save it and some error is coming. I think some definitely bracket. Pen list new. Okay, where pen list new? Copy and paste. And now click on save. Fine. Okay. So now here, my data for testing purpose is this. This is my data. Okay, testing purpose. Okay, 200 and Shekhar. So can you tell me that if this code is getting executed, then in which line the entry will happen because of my test data? In which line entry will happen? Or tell me all the lines which will be covered. Tell me. Let me see your now uh, learning capability. Tell me the lines from the beginning which will be coming as a blue color. Tell me. Fine. Line number 3. Line number 1 is wrong answer. Okay. Line number 1 is wrong answer. Classes will not come. Function will come. 3. Then 5. Very good. Then 3 to 17. Absolutely wrong answer. Anyone who is saying 3 to 17. Absolutely wrong answer. 3. Then 5. Then 7. Then 8. Yes. And after that, stop. Because you are here not having the matching records. You are going with 200 values. It's not matching the record. And what will happen? Then it will just stop here because this way we are going to work in if else condition. Do you think if this condition is satisfied, then control will come here in the if else? Do you think it will come here? Remember the previous sessions. If else, if is satisfied, then will else come into the picture? No, else will never come into the picture. Then how can you say that this line or this line or this line will be covered? No, it will not be covered. Okay. So those who said this answer 3, 5, 7, 8, absolutely correct. Well done. Let me show you by running. Go to the test class and do one thing. Save everything. Save all and run test. Go to the test and you can see 833 test is successful. Okay, fine. Go for the main class. And after that, I'm going to click on this all test. And you guys are absolutely correct. Well done. Okay. So please note here, this is the lines coming. Fine. Okay. Non-covered lines 11, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now I'm your junior guys and I don't know how to do all these things in the test class. I'm asking you a question. What will be your suggestion if I want to cover all these remaining lines? Please tell me, because the code coverage is very much less. How much is the code coverage? 40%. Do you think we can send this class to production? Do you think we can send it to production? No, absolutely not. So please help me. Please help me. What should I do? Test with more data? Very good. Correct answer. Test with more data. Fantastic. Please note, as a solution, I can do one thing. I can again copy this entire code and I will just paste it here. Give me 1 minute. One solution for this is one solution for this is copy this, copy this, and here paste it here. Paste at the bottom some kind of additional logic and go for, let's say, 80, something like that. Okay. Now here one suggestion I got in the chat box, and also I would like to ask you the same thing. So here I want to ask you the question to actually to cover red lines. What do you think? Like, what do you think about the about like changing the main class? What do you think? If suppose I'm giving you advice to cover the red lines, let's make change in the main class. That's it. I am suggesting you this. What is your view on that? I am saying, see, you want to cover these red lines, do one thing, right? If, or something like that. Please note, this is a very horrible mistake. This is a very horrible mistake. Don't touch the main class. What you're doing, main class, the business logic which is already running, you're touching that. Please don't do this very horrible mistake. You will face lots of problem. Don't touch whatsoever the main class. Please note this point. Never touch the main class. It doesn't matter. You're wasting 5 days and 10 days in the test class. Doesn't matter. Don't touch main class. That's all. Okay. You should not do that when when other person already wrote the code and code is running properly. And just because of your limitations, you cannot write the test class properly. You are changing the main class. What kind of logic is that? Never touch the main class. Okay. Don't touch it. Only do whatever you want to do in the test class. Otherwise, bang your head on the wall. But don't touch the main class. Okay. Next. Now, let's go for the solution for this. The solution now is, as I said, you can write another data, which you guys said correct. I can write here another data, 100, 80, etc. Okay, I can do that. But the best practice says you write a separate function for separate logic. Why we need to do this? You will come to know in some time. I will tell you about this, why to do this. But here, now let me do that here, and I will tell you why later. So let me make it small. It's like lots of comments are there, and let me make it small. Okay, so this is my function, and let me copy now this and go for second function. Okay, and now whatever I'm going to do here, you only need to tell me. So do one thing. I'm just going to copy this. I'm just going to copy this, and I'm just going to remove this. And this is the copy, and I'm pasting in your chat box. Please do one thing fast. Make some changes and give me the code so that my other lines will be covered. I'm your junior. I'm not able to do anything in this case. I'm not able to understand how to cover the red lines. Please help me. Give me the ready-made code. I'm just going to copy paste. I just joined the office today. Copy paste. I'm just going to copy paste here. Here. I will just copy paste here. That's it. So this is your code, the main class. Please cover this fast. So how many functions you think we need to have? How many functions you think we should have? How many functions you think we need to have here? How many functions? Yes, very good. 4 functions. Very good. For 100 plus 1 function, 72, 100 second, 50, 70, third, 10, 50, fourth. Please do fast. More than 30 seconds you should not take. It is not that complicated as per what you are as compared to or by using the knowledge. from the last 2 3 sessions. It's not complicated now for you. Last 20 seconds. Last 20 seconds. I'm getting some wrong answers like where the function name is same. Shall I use the same function name? Do you think we can use the same function name again and again? Do you think so? We can use the same function name? Definitely not. Definitely not. It will throw error. We need to use different function name. Duplicates are not allowed. Superb, guys. I'm getting correct answers. And correct. Here we go. Let me do the needful. So I'm going to write function number 2. And very good. Correct answer. 70 to 100. So I'll do one thing. I'll take 90, for example. And if I create the paying customer name Shekhar, will that make any problem? If the name of the customer is same, will that make any problem? No, that's okay. Fine. That's okay. Multiple users can have same name, right? It's not a problem. It's not a kind of unique value or etc. That's okay. So 90. What should I do here if it is 90? What should I do here for 90? 90 minus 10. 80. Very good. 80. Okay. Very good. Copy this. Come here. Function 3. And this time 60. If I use this var p2 everywhere, is that fine? If I use var p2 in every function, is that fine? Yes, totally fine. Because see, within this function, you should not use the var p2 two times. But in different functions, we can write it. For example, there is a class 1, there is a class 2. In this class 1, I'm writing variable age. And here also I'm writing variable age. It's okay, that's totally fine. In different functions, I'm writing the same variable name, totally fine. But within the function, you should not write duplicates. Okay, at that time you will get an error. So I'm continuing with the same var p2. What is the third scenario? Third scenario is related to 50 to 70, so 60 minus 5. So 60 minus 5, 55, and the last function. And 20 minus 1. So I will go for 20, and it will remove minus 1. So let's say 19, and function name 3, 4 now. 4 and save. And let me see if all the problems are getting vanished. And please note, there is no problem, totally fine. Very good. Now just run the test class. Click on the test. By the way, it will also tell you what all the functions got tested. Look at this last, click on the plus sign. This is the test class. Click on the plus sign, see these are the functions. Okay, so this way it will tell you that what all the functions got executed, or in fact what all the functions are having test method return. Okay, now go to the main class. Oh, what happened? Go to the main class, and then all test. And fantastic, congratulations, every line is covered. Every line is covered. Go to trigger, and that's all. Everything is covered. Only one line is there, and that's also covered. Superb. Well done, guys. Good progress. Now, what about this? Now I'm going to make some change. Okay, I'm going to make some change. You tell me what to do in this case. Okay, this point is clear. See now here. This is my trigger. Okay, this is my trigger. Save it. Method does not exist. Apply discount. Pen plus demonstration. Apply discount pen. Okay, spelling is wrong. Here apply discount pen. So call apply discount pen and save. Fine, all good. Okay. Now please note we have to worry about nothing for the main class. But now see what's going to happen in the trigger. Go to the main test class and run the test and see whether trigger is going with proper coverage or not. So let me go for test, click on the test and see what is the output coming. So see the last one, 844. It's working totally fine. Okay. Now go to the trigger and now please note, tell me the line numbers which will be covered. Tell me the line numbers which will be covered. Please tell me the line number. Very good. 3, 4, superb. And all test. By the way, it try to check the if condition at line number 7, and the reason behind this is we are not using if else. Can you tell me, everyone understood why why this line became blue? Because we are not using if else. If you are using if else, then after if, everything will stop. But you are writing if, so everything will be checked. But there was no entry in this because what? Because of what reason? There was no entry in this if condition. It's still not covered. This line is red color. Why? Yeah, we are doing insert operation. Very good. We are doing insert operation. Correct. How to cover this update? I will do one thing. See here. Copy this function. Copy this function and come down and let's say test function. Let's say for let's say update for example. Okay. And you inserted the value. Okay. After inserting the value, now do one thing here. I'm going to do one thing. The price I'm going to make now is equal to 300. Okay. And then what keyword I should use if I'm doing insert? I'm using insert keyword for insert. Then what I should use here for update? Update. Very good. Update where p. Okay. So now after trigger, after this modification, how much will be the latest data of that record now? How much will be the latest data after trigger? Because trigger will come into the picture. What will happen? Yes, look at this code. So what will happen? Now trigger will pass the record to this class. From this class it will go here because it's 100 plus. So minus 20 will be done. So 280 will be the answer. Very good. Well done. So make the modifications here and you are expecting the value to be 280. Okay. And click on save. So just see here small techniques how you can improve your code coverage and run the code and go to the main class. There is nothing to say about main class. It's okay. That's fine. But if I go for trigger, then definitely this will also cover. So please note this will here cover the update activity because one operation is for update. And in this case, please note here, this will do the insert, this will do the insert, third function do the insert, fourth function will do the insert, fifth function will do insert and then update. And that's fine. We want that only. So here we will be going for this. And you can see here, this is coming as a covered line. Okay. And now after this, and 1 minute, it's showing now red color. 1 minute. What happened? Let us see. Fine. Click on that. Click on that. Function for update. What happened? Double click. Okay, double click on that. And invalid field for insert update cannot specify ID in an insert call. Okay, line number 110. And let me do one thing. Let me go for line number 110. Oh, okay. We are actually here doing the insert. So actually that is something to be removed. Okay. So tell me what Salesforce is saying here. Tell me what Salesforce is saying here. What is saying to you? Salesforce is showing some concern. What is that concern? Yes. How you can enter or insert same record again? How you can insert the same record again? Correct answer. So that is our typing mistake or spelling mistake. We did not remove that, or we should be overwriting here in the spelling of where p update. So we by mistake forgot that. That's where error is coming. So save all and then click on run test. Look at this last 8:49. Everything is good. Okay, 8:49. And now go to the main class and everything is good. None, and again select all if it is not coming properly, and select like this way. Okay, so let me know. Just give 1 minute. Yeah, thank you for the hold. I was on mute. All right. So, okay. So this way we have seen this area also, how to work on insert, update, etc. Okay. Now here is one important thing, and pay attention that now, as you understood about all the best practices, now let me see what is pending for you. And let me see here. Let me see. Yeah. So what about this? This is, for example, is a class. Okay. This is a class. This is a class. Okay. Look at this carefully. Now there is no trigger for this class. So how we will cover this now in the real-time project? You know the answer. You know the answer. You know the answer. How to call this functionality? How to cover this code? If there is no trigger, then how you will call this class associated with this my class? There is no trigger. Okay. Yeah, simple. Just write a test class and do this. Simple. See, my class dot perform sum. That's all. That's all. See, just do like this. Write a test class, okay, and my class, and then perform sum. That's okay. That's fine. If trigger is not there, that's also fine. You can manage. Okay. So these are the things which I wanted you guys to understand about all this information. And apart from that, I would like to tell you few small calculations which you should know and pay attention. Few small calculations about all these things. Pay attention. Very important. Now we are going to enter into the advanced important information about test class. So here we go. First of all, you know that the what is the meaning of each test and what is the benefit of that? These are all the things you know. So let me remove this. Okay. And next, test method keywords also you know. So this is a mandatory keyword which also you know what is the benefit of that. Remove that. And how to begin writing a test class, that's also known to you. Remove that. And now this is important. How actual calculation is done on production. You are sending production all below things. Now this is very important. Okay. For example, and by the way, please note, even test class you need to send to production. Very important. Please note, new guys don't understand that even test class you need to send to production. Please note, even test class. Okay. Now, suppose we are having this situation. Test class 1 and main class for that having 75% code coverage. Test class 2, main class 2. This is having 50% code coverage and this one is 80. Total 6 items you are going to send to production. What will happen? What is your guess? What is your guess? What will happen? 10 seconds for you. What will happen? Class 1 and 3 will go. Class 2 will not go. All class will go. No class will go. 3 options. 10 seconds for you only. So please note, here is your answer. You have to do calculations. Don't tell orally, calculations. 75 plus 50 plus 80 is equal to 205. Divided by 3 because 3 classes are there. 68% error. These classes will not be sent to production. Error will come because Salesforce takes average of all the classes. So the moral is what? Average will be taken into consideration of all the classes, not one, not two, not five, average. Now, how you can take the benefit of this concept? Pay attention. how you will take the benefit of this concept. In some cases, in the real-time project, listen carefully, very important for you. This is for your job, not part of your syllabus, but I'm giving the information from my company or my project. In some cases, in the real-time project, it becomes very hard to go above 75. Yes, there are some kind of classes where your senior also cannot go above 75 till it is so complex, so complicated that you guys don't proceed more than 75. It's possible in some rare cases because it's like very time taking, lots of code, and you have limited time due to some shortage of time or nearer deadlines. Okay, that is the main reason. You will come to know about this when you join any company. So when we focus on other classes and their coverage is up to 90, 95 we are making, then ensure average is coming more than 75. So for example, this is there is a very complex class and that's 70% only. Above 70 it's not going. No problem. You work on other classes, make it 90, 95, and this way increase the average. Okay. This is the way we take the benefit of this technique. Okay. Next, interview question. Very famous interview question. Very famous interview question. Test class best practices. Test classes code minimum required coverage is 75% and 1% for Apex class and trigger, respectively. Means 75 for Apex, 1 for trigger, respectively. But ideally, you should try for 100%. The interviewer will ask you that, okay, so if I am having 80% code coverage, is that okay? So wait, he is trying to check your best practice knowledge. Don't say it's okay. No, don't say okay. Say actually we should try for 100%. He's expecting you to follow best practice. Don't say 75, 95, 20, 89 is okay. No, it's not okay. We should try with positive as well as negative scenario. Means, for example below is business requirement. If price of the mobile is more than 100, then discount equal to 5. Then do testing. Do testing with record having more than 100 also price, and also try but also try building data with mobile price less than 100, positive, negative, and see what's happening. Keep it more than 100, keep a record less than 100, see what's going to happen. Test class also should create the load testing aspect by creating a list of data and then inserting and then checking how the things are working. Means instead of creating one record, you can also go for the list and you can insert the list. Okay, so this you will come to know in the bonus talk. Means you can insert the list than single record. Okay, that's also important. Every test class must have assert function to ensure testing is going fine. This is also best practice. Shekhar, if I don't write assert function, that it's fine. Yeah, your test class will work fine. You'll get the code coverage more than 75. That's okay. But this way, you are showing that you are not interested to check whether the values are coming, calculations are happening fine or not. By giving the value 200, you are not interested to see whether the value is coming 180 or not. This is the bad thing. Do also assert usage. At least one assert is expected. Always use at the is test before the test class. It's like a rule. It's not a rule. It's not a best practice by the way. It's like a rule. Okay. So this is like a rule, not a best practice. This also same. Always use test method keyword before test function. It's like again, it's like a rule, not a best practice. Try to avoid existing data in database by making query and fetching data from database and create a new hardcode data in this class. If you remember, I told you before 1 or 2 days, never fetch the data from database. That's a bad practice. Salesforce stop that. We used to do this before 4, 5, 6 years. Salesforce stop that. Salesforce says don't do that. How we can do? Actually, besides at the is test, we should write see all data equal to true. So what will happen? Then we can fetch the data from database also. And we used to do this kind of programming in 2015, 14, etc. But then Salesforce said, no, it's making the performance issue. Don't go for that. Salesforce says, create your own record the way we created yesterday or today. Same fashion you need to follow. No information should be coming from database. Always use test.startTest instead of test.stopTest in every test function. Now this will come to know, or this we will see in governor limit topic. That's a future topic. Don't worry about that. It's a very important best practice. But what is the meaning of that? You will not understand right now. You will understand when we see governor limit. If we need to test multiple scenarios, use different methods as possible, because this helps you to have good control over the test class execution. And then when you want to see which function is giving what percentage result, then we can comment other functions and see the impact. Very useful for real-time project. And above thing is only possible if we divide the logic in multiple test method. Means what? Say here. See here. Suppose I want to see that how much benefit I'm getting by this function. This. how much code coverage I'm getting. So in this case, you can do one thing. You can comment this code, test one, test of function two, function three, and only this code you can keep it open and run it. This way, you can also take the benefit of understanding. Second thing, when you go for the main class, here also it will tell you because of first function how much, second function how much. Now just imagine you are using only one function and you are mixing everything in that. How it's possible? It is impossible for you to understand which code is doing what kind of benefit. So for that purpose, I told you divide in different functions. It will give fantastic benefit in future. And now after this here, I would like to also tell you some important final thing. Please note. Also, you can remember this here. Try to create a separate function with the annotation at the rate test setup. Now there's a new feature which is focused on creating sample test data and create the data inside this. What is that? Pay attention. You do one thing. You create a function, let's say here, a normal function. Now is this function going to do some kind of testing? Is this function going to do some kind of testing? Is it a test method function? Is it a test method function? Do you see test method? No, it's a normal function. It is a normal function. Look at the line where test method is written and look at this code. Here, here, test method is written. So this is for testing purpose, this kind of functions. But this kind of functions are not for testing purpose. This is for supporting purpose. And yes, very good. Test method required. Correct. And someone asked me before 1 or 2 days, can we have functions which are not having test methods? So this is the answer. I told you at that time, wait for a few more sessions. This is the answer. It's possible. So just don't write anything in that. And you can also remove this normal function. Just normal function also fine. Okay. But if your function or if you want to follow this best practice, then what you can do is create a function and at the beginning you write test setup. What will happen? Now in this function you generate your data, whatever you're doing, like you are creating the record. Let's say for example pen underscore underscore c p equal to new pen underscore underscore c, this kind of thing, p dot name equal to Shekhar. This kind of things you do here. This kind of things you do here. Okay. What is the benefit? I will show you. What is the benefit? I will show you. Actually, what will happen once you create the data in this function, then for other functions, you can directly use this data and you don't need to create again and again and again in every function. That is the only benefit. And that's the best practice. In many companies, they don't follow. In many companies, they follow. Depends. How is your project manager? How is your team working? But please note, remember this for interview. Test setup. This is for test data creation. So we are writing here test setup. But test method is nothing but this, where we want to actually create a function for testing purpose. Okay. So now here, please note that one more important thing, very important, very important. Data created by test class are never added into the database. It is temporary. Another important point for you. So Shekhar, you mean to say that whatever we are adding here, this information is not going into the database? Wait, I will tell you what's happening. I will tell you. As soon as you are doing insert, then Salesforce will adding the record to the database and all the trigger and whatever is happening. But Salesforce also knows that this actually is a functionality which Shekhar created by test class. So whatever went to the database here, let's say 60 or whatever, that will be done as a undo. You know the undo in Excel file, Word file, it is going to do that. So please note, don't have any confusion in this. Data created by test classes are never added to database. It's temporary. This is like undo button in Word file. Means whatever you added, it will be automatically removed. You don't worry. Okay. Everything will work. Trigger will work. Everything will work. But immediately after that, once process is stopped, undo, everything gone. Okay. Remember this. So, and please note when the entire process is removed, done, then it will remove. Okay. So data created in test class are never added to database. It's temporary. It will like undo button in the Word file. As soon as entire process is completed, trigger, apex class, code, coverage, etc., data will be removed like undo button. Simple, that's it. So whatever you're doing, it is not going to be in the database. Don't worry, it will not be in the database. It's temporary. Okay. And the final point, always bypass those things like integration. So tell me now here, one problem. What will be the issue when we are doing testing? And it's see here, as per above line, listen carefully. We don't need to worry about data entry during test class. Okay, fine, that's okay. It will be entered, removed immediately. What if we have some code in main class like sending email, integration to .NET, etc. What will be issue? Tell me, what will be the issue in this case? What will be the problem now? What do you think? Yeah, we cannot undo. Very good. We cannot undo that. How can you take email from your inbox of customer and take it back to your Salesforce? How it's possible? This is not possible to do undo. This will not be undo. You don't have control to inbox of or Gmail ID of customer. No, it will not do undo. It will become permanent. And here the problem will happen is it right here. What will be the issue? So here the answer is correct. It will not do undo. It will not do undo here. How it's possible? So that's the reason here. The solution for you is this. Always bypass those things like integration call or validations in test class, as you want to do this only in real time execution or real time execution. That here you will understand also in future, by the way, as a bonus session. But how you can do this? Right, if condition, then write test dot is running test equal to false. Means right now the control came in this line. So assume that here, assume below is our, listen carefully, full focus on the session, our main class. Okay, so here some code we are having. Now this code is for integration. Okay, I don't want this to be called in the testing purpose. Unnecessary. Why to send the data to other platform? They will get confused. So do one thing, right? Test dot is running test equal to false means it will ask Salesforce, is this code executing because of testing purpose? False. No, it's a normal execution, not the testing execution. Okay, then execute the code. If it is testing class, then what will happen? Test dot running test equal to it will become true. This will become true. So this will become true. Yeah, it's a testing purpose. It's a test class. Okay, then in this case, true is not equal to false, and this integration code will never work. Okay. Remember another very important future things or important thing for your job. Code for calculation, this you want to get called in the test class. Yeah, remove this. And such code is hardly and please note such code is hardly 0.5 or 1% in the entire code. So don't worry, you're not going to do this kind of many times. Hardly 0.5 or 1% in your entire project you're going to see such kind of code to bypass. But fine, it will be there when you have integration of such kind of things and bypass it. Okay. So we are done with our today's session, and now let me do one thing. All these things which I told, it's very important for your career. Please watch the video 2-3 times. This is the Friday, so let me take the feedback also, whether you are getting the good return on your investment or your money, whatever you spent in the training program. Please tell me if you are facing any kind of issue, and then we can arrange some alternate for you. Please proceed and let me know. Are you facing any kind of problems without any hesitation? You are having 10 seconds to answer. One or two, anything, your wish. My responsibility is to see how can I make it better. If I cannot do better, I will arrange someone else. Okay, great. So good to see you guys and happy to see that all your ones and good feedback. If you're going fine, then that's a fantastic thing for me also, because all these things I want you guys to be ready with, because you are going to see in very soon you are going to face the interviews. You are going to complete the syllabus very soon. You have to face the interviews. So if you're going fine, very good. And now do one thing. Please note, as here the now here, as I have to go to office today quickly, so I will be closing the session now. But if you're having any question and any queries, then please note that you can mail me. Weekend time is there. Watch the video. Any questions, mail me, WhatsApp me. Okay. Any question is coming in the chat box. Please note, I have to run to office now. So please copy and paste and mail your question. I'm waiting for 5 seconds. Please copy your question and paste in the mail or WhatsApp. I'm going to office now. So please copy that. 5 seconds I'm going to wait. And fine. So let's meet on Monday morning. Have a good weekend and please mail me if you need any